I'm a lawyer. I don't operate a laundry.
Well, I'll call you counselor from now on. $42 per square foot is not feasible for a laundromat. $20 a square foot is where a laundry can survive. And this is for your knowledge. I hope that all makes sense.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So what's the next step?
You know, it pains me almost as much as you that these fucking people don't answer their phone or return calls, but this is the way the game is played. Max is this person. You got his cellular phone number. You're telling me it's him. Oh, he's the guy that's in a hearing all of a sudden.
Yeah.
He's in a hearing. That's a long hearing. It's been a week. Let's call him back. Here we go.
Hello?
Max.
Yes?
My name is Danny. I'm interested in leasing some space from you. There is Coin Laundromat there, Max, and that is my business. I have been doing laundries in the tri-state area for 20 plus years. My partner and I would
you probably know my uncle, Bernard Milch.
Bernie Milch.
That's my uncle. He passed away, but his son took over, Neil.
Yes. We all have cigars every Wednesday.
Really?
No, I'm kidding. Sorry for your loss. You know, the names are the same. There's a bunch of us who do this really well, and then there's some people that can't figure out how to run a laundromat to save their life. And those folks come and go. You know, they buy the business. They try to stick it out. They say, Jesus, why did I give so much money for a failed laundromat? I thought it was going to be gold in the streets.
Because Super Laundry, talks them into locations.
Yeah. The distributors, it's the same everywhere. It's horrible. Yeah. And, you know, every con man needs a mark, and every mark has one flaw, and the fatal flaw is that they are greedy, and they think they're going to make money picking it up out of the streets. It's not easy. That said, my partner and I walk these stores. We do it just a little different. We walk them when we see room for improvement. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. You know, they're underperforming. They've got older equipment.
Right.
They're
no problem.
Out of order.
Here's the situation. I paid for a company to give me market price square footage, and I just sent the check out to them. So I'm waiting for that information. It's probably around $42 a square foot, something like that, I think. But I don't know. Don't forget.
So I'm not understanding. Pardon my ignorance. You paid a real estate agency to find you someone to plug someone in there?
No. To find out what the square footage charge is.
Okay.
What the rental. How much I charge rent for a location? I don't know. So I hired someone to give me a comparative.
Understood. So you have put a professional realtor agency or a real estate trust in charge of figuring out what your rent should be. Let me ask you this. Firstly, let's back up. Do you have more than one space that has infrastructure in place for a laundromat?
I couldn't hear you. What? I'm sorry?
Do you possess more than one space in the entire tri-state area that has laundry infrastructure?
No.
Okay. It's just this.
That's the only one.
Okay. Now, you're putting someone in place to find out what the appropriate square footage should be. I get that. Understood. Now,
right.
For the laundromat space or in general, are you operating the laundry? Is your tenant on their way out? Are you booting them?
No. I'm a lawyer. I don't operate a laundry.
Okay. Well, I'll call you counselor from now on. So, counselor,
just call me Max. Just Max.
You have an operator there now that's running the laundromat who is your tenant. Are they month to month? Are they on their way out? Or are they on? It looks like
they're on the way out.
Okay, understood. Now let's talk about exactly what you and I want to help you understand that $42 per square foot is not feasible for a laundromat. And understand, let me be your advocate for a second here without speaking legalese. I have 36 locations in the tri-state area. You're going to hear back from your people. This is what is reasonable, appropriate, and commensurate rate of rent for this area in New York. Got it. Perfect. They're 100% right. But is that correct for a laundromat? No, and here's why. Any other business It just about any other business, something you would understand, a bodega, a restaurant, anything that you and I would frequent on a regular basis. We don't frequent laundromats. Middle and upper class don't. That being said, a restaurant, hopefully you've got great recipes. Hopefully you enjoy the 5% profit every year. Hopefully you don't order too much food or meat or bread and you do well. God bless. That's a different business. Then you've got service businesses. Maybe it's a barber and you're very good at cutting hair. You've got 40 employees. Don't know or understand that business either. A laundromat is different because I max am after infrastructure. It's already here. The gas, water, electric. That's what I'm after. It's all there. It's plugged in. I'm going to throw the equipment away and renew it. And I do that every 7 years. So I need a lengthy lease, 15-year minimum. So I have one retool baked into the cake. And this is $500,000 without breaking a sweat. Laundromat equipment is industrial. It's costly. Now, I get good deals because I know how to talk to these people. I get good deals because I've made deals with them in the past. I can float this store and make it work because I have other stores. And obviously that helps. All boats rise with that tide. But there's a lot of green between, as they say in the game of pool. I have a lot of work ahead of me if I do this. I'm just telling you, $20 a square foot plus triple nets and cams is where a laundry can survive. And this is for your knowledge. Listen to what the folks have to say when they come back to you. I want you to get as much rent as you can, and it might include blowing out the laundromat. You might go in there and say, you know what? Don't want a laundromat here. That use is going away. It makes no sense for Max and his family. But then the neighborhood suffers. And, the laundry works, even though it has 25-year-old equipment, no advertising. I could go on and on ad nauseum what they're doing wrong. Even though all of that is in place, they still make money. Not enough to where they want to retool and come to you hat in hand begging for a longer lease because they don't get it. And the other thing is, my brother, most of these people buy the business. That's the disconnect. If they spend $300,000 or $400,000 on it up front, they never recoup the cost. I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to have that big leg up, my partner and I, because understand, I'm not looking to give you key fees here and give you XXX plus rent. I just want to rent the place from you when the time comes. I hope that all makes sense.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, let me. So, what's the next step? Do you want to look at the space, or do you want to?
Max, I've been in it a million times. We walk these locations before we even consider picking up the phone and calling you.
So, what's the next step?
I will send you an email.
Because then, if you're serious, then I have to go and tell the tenant bye.
Sure. Well, if I were you, again, your advocate, I wouldn't do that until I have a lease in hand from me or anybody else.
Right.
I can
or an agreement in place.
Correct.
Either one.
I've signed leases contingent on the exit of the tenant. I've done it. I'm happy to do it with you.
Okay. That makes sense.
Look, I can send you a letter of intent, but first you have to say, you know what, $20 a square foot is reasonable and commensurate, and I could do that. If you say that, then I'm going to talk to you about rent abatement, tenant improvements.
Well, I have to be honest with you. I have to convey it to my partner. I have a partner in the place, and his name is Neil. So what I'm going to do with Neil is, if you send me your proposal, I'll send it over to him, and we'll discuss it. They're paying now. The tenant is paying 19 something a month with 3% bumps.
Okay.
So basically, you're talking the same area as what they're paying at this point,
right? Which
I'm not adverse to.
Yeah.
If you have a good tenant, triple net, why not?
Well, let me say this, and I love this back and forth. We're not in court here, but the difference between me and your previous tenant is my debt service. So they're cruising along at $19.50 plus triple nets, and
right,
they're not looking to renew. They're not looking to continue. They don't have the policies and procedures in place. Yeah. And it's because they can't understand how to earn, and it's because they have to reinvest. And they're done. The difference with me and my partner, when we come in, we've got the same rate of rent plus $7,000-8,000 a month in debt service to the equipment or more. Look, I want to see a $10,000 a month gas bill because that means I'm collecting a percentage of that. That doesn't scare me. I can do that.
That's good.
What if we do 15 years I'm normally asking for 12 months abatement, whether that's spread out or all up front. I'm going to put that in the LOI as well.
Normally what I do, normally I give you a year.
Yeah.
But what I do is I put a caveat where if you become operational, then, it's the day you become operational as opposed to the full
Let
year.
me talk on that. With a laundromat,
I
again,
mean, that's
no, sure.
common
No, that
sense,
makes sense. But not with a laundromat. Here's why. I'm going to run the store the way it is. They leave, they exit. They might want to take their equipment, which is preposterous because they're not going to be able to sell it anywhere in the open market. It's junk, but okay, it's theirs. That being said, we don't know what they intend to do with the equipment. I don't want it, but I want to run the store. So the difference is I'm not looking to get the doors open like a McDonald's and have people waiting around the corner to get to the drive-through. It's not that with a laundromat. What I need the time for is not to get the doors open, but to get the people coming back, because every consumer is who I have in mind. And they've already gone to another service center. They're already going to another store. It's a pain in the neck to say, I'm going to go try this place out. No matter how many banners we put up. My banners don't say under new management. They say under better management because it's cute. It's catchy. It's kitschy. It gets them to come in. That 12 months is not.
Why don't you send me your proposal?
You got
and
it.
I'll send it to Neil, and I'll speak to Neil, and we'll take it from there. Do you
Max,
have my email?
Yeah. No. What is it? Go. Brilliant.
Okay.
I'll still call you counselor. I appreciate your time. I know it's valuable. Max, I'm Danny.
Hey, Max.
My partner's name is Izzy. You're going to see him CC'd in the email. We're going to ask for what we need, not for what we want, not for pie in the sky, but what we need to be successful.
Okay. We'll
Ciao.
talk, definitely.
Mazel
You
tov.
got it.
All right. Now,
That was good.
that was good. That's all I get. 3 words. It's okay to be
I
exuberant.
mean, yeah. There's a bunch of people walking around. I don't want to startle them.
Only in New York. Well, you can whisper your exuberance.
Oh, man. If you saw the smile on my face.
Isman, you've been very reserved, quiet, even upset, I believe, when we've been making these calls. Let's just talk about Max. We called him on 8/22, 8/29, 9/19, 9/26, 10/31, 11/7. And I've told you throughout this process, this is the process. I've explained to you, like I do with my new clients, this guy is not an employee at JCPenney waiting for the phone to ring so he can tell you where the underwear is. Aisle 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. Every landlord or their agent is different. The one thing I can control is the conversation once I have it. Do you want to talk to an attorney who sounds like he's 60 years old? Probably not. So you hired me to do it.
Yeah.
And now the way that we do it, the method that we use is precisely this. You're a very young man. I was there once. Patience is a big part of this. And this is for the cheap seats for all of my clients or my potential clients. I told you, eventually someone will pick up and be in the right frame of mind to talk. Don't forget, Max particularly, I don't know how many spaces or suites he has. He said he had a partner. I saw you took the notes, which are good. He's an attorney, so in his own mind, time is money, and he doesn't want to speak for free.
Yeah.
So this particular date and time and moment in the universe, he decided. The first time we got him on the phone, you remember, weeks ago, he said, I'm walking in to a hearing.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh, it's probably because he's a landlord, because they go into hearings to boot tenants, to do whatever. And that's when you call a real estate agent, they'll say commonly, I'm walking in to a showing. Okay. You believe it? I mean, usually they're full of shit. But they're ordering a bagel, they don't want to talk. As promised, our method is different because we are not calling on a sign that says for sale, for lease, we'll be back in 5 minutes. We are JCPenney customer service number. We are calling individuals, landlords, and their agents. And many times the landlord's agent is a slumlord's agent. Not talking about Max. It takes energy and patience. So you're stuck with it. Now, I want to smack the smile off your face because you don't have a lease yet. We just went from $42 per square foot to 20, which is just over $1. Which in that area, he says, oh, I got somebody coming out to tell me what the proper lease rate is, etc. All right. No, thank you. He said, I normally give a year or when you open. Every negotiation is an argument, my friend. And what I'm doing is arguing, just like an attorney would. I would have been a great attorney. You can't handle the truth. I'm telling him, no, we don't want a year. What does he care? Whether we're open or closed. Yeah. We want to run it exactly the way it is right now. Okay, sleep well, don't freak out. You don't have a laundromat quite yet, but here's what's going to happen. I'm going to send you my LOI. I'm going to send you all of the instruction, how to do it, how to fill it out. Now think about it this way. We've been working together for 3 months. You've been out looking at laundromats and scouting them and putting them in front of me. And we've been calling them. We've had some doors slammed in our face. This is the way that this works. You could have given up at any point. Did you ever feel like, oh, this guy, Danny's full of shit, I'm not going to do this anymore?
No, because my thing is I'm going to keep trying until, like, whatever it takes.
Good. People do quit, give up, walk away. And it's not trying, my friend. In boot camp, I learned trying is lying. Master Chief Solaric. And I'll tell you what, there was no second part to that. It's not some Yoda-ism. Do not try, do. Trying is lying. So don't lie to yourself. All right, we're not sucking each other's quite yet. I'm going to send you the LOI, instructions how to do it. We're going to write this for 19, not 20, because he admitted that's what they're paying. Actually, we could write it for 18 to start. I don't want to rock the boat. You understand the reset. That's another thing. It's not like renting an apartment. 20 years ago, the apartment was $500 a month, right?
Yeah.
Last year, it was $5,000 a month. And next year, it's going to be $5,100 a month. It doesn't work that way in commercial real estate. Some people think it does because they don't know any better, but it doesn't. There's a reset. This guy might have been leasing this place for 20 some odd years. You notice I didn't ask. Newbies make the mistake. Well, what's going on with the current tenant? How are they? How big are their balls? What did they do? I don't do that. I know by looking. He says, do you want to come look at the place? I already did. In a nutshell, Max finally answered the fucking phone, and he is in a position to lease it out. All right, say some words so I can send you the email.
Yeah, when he told us how much they were paying, that was pretty good, because now he doesn't really have anything to negotiate with, because we're going to be coming in and, you know, revamping everything. And if we do it at the same rate, he'll be happy and we'll be happy too.
Very good. And you understand how I got him to give us that information. That's the entire conversation. The fact that when he finally picked up the other day, he said, oh, I'll call you back after this hearing, blah, blah, blah. It's all of it. And he says, oh, do you know Bernard Milch? I don't know that name. I don't know. But it's, yeah, we have cigars on Wednesdays. All of that leads to this guy getting relaxed enough to say, nah, they're paying 20.
I'm pretty sure this hot water heater's got a few more good years left in it.